In your experience, what's more important, strength, flexibility, or cardiovascular health?
I have to choose one.
You got to choose one. Like, what's the most important? If it was one thing that you had to spend most of your time on, if let's say 35% of, what would you focus on?
Mobility, because
Yeah.
mobility has been shown to increase life longevity. For those that turn 65 or any age after 65, their chances of survival rate depend upon their mobility levels and their flexibility, because that has been shown to increase quality of living. Therefore, if you can't just walk, or if you can't squat down or touch your toes, then you're just limiting daily activities, and it's going to decrease your chances of being able to survive by yourself. You're going to need assisted living. So therefore, strength is important, cardiovascular activity is important. But if you're not mobile, then once you turn 65 and your bones start to wither away and you start to experience sarcopenia, which is age-associated muscle loss, if you don't have mobility, then your body's just going to naturally start to shut down, and you're not going to be able to do things just the way a normal person would.
Absolutely. I hurt my back really bad at the end of last year, and I had never stretched before in my life.
Mm.
Like, played basketball all these years. I got some bad advice. A guy told me either stretch all the time or don't stretch at all. So I decided to not stretch at all. And I couldn't figure out how to get my back together. And then I started doing that couch stretch, where you put your leg back up on the pretty much on the wall. You put your leg back up and your leg is pretty much behind you with your knee catacorner to the wall. And then
Hmm.
you have your other leg up. That stretch changed my life.
So one thing I want to make sure that people recognize is that before you stretch, you need to make sure that you're warmed up. So think about it from this perspective, right? Let's say I had a string, right? And I could fill this string up with water. So it's an empty string, but to a degree it's a string. And you fill it up with water and it's frozen. If I throw it on the ground, it's gonna shatter.
Mhm.
Whereas if it's just liquid, then this string can bend, it can move, it can function a little more. So a lot of times when people don't stretch, they increase, or when people don't warm up before they stretch, they end up increasing their chances of injuring themselves. So anytime someone wants to stretch, they need to make sure that they're properly warmed up.
And I'd stretch after I work out, and I'm still only at a 5 minutes a day, 5 to 10 minutes. But since I had never stretched before, it changed my entire life. So even on the weekends when I'm not working out on Monday through Friday, guy, sometimes I'll sit on the floor all day just doing stretches. And it's made me I feel like I'm floating nowadays. And I didn't realize that I was laboring through life
There-
before that.
There's a saying, you're not old, you just need to stretch.
That's it. That's it.